All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the X Zone. My name's Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Worldwide, 800-610-7035. My email address, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger and all other social media sites, one simple address, X-Zone Radio TV. And our main website, where you can listen to past shows, check out and see what we're doing here in the X Zone. Learn more about us. It's www.xzoneradiotv.com. Exonation, my guest this hour is Resa Edwards. She is the author of Divine Order, Book of Peace and Happiness. And as Time's only merchant, Resa Edwards is promoting the only proven path to God's future. And we're going to be talking to Resa right now. And Resa, welcome to the X Zone. Great having you with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Resa, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a typical American. I live just like you do. I watch cable television. I drive an American car.
Yeah.
I have children. I'm a single parent. I'm just a regular, typical American citizen.
But I think there's more to it than that. Am I correct?
Well, there's not that much more to me personally, but the job that I have to do, I guess the hat that I wear is pretty significant.
What is that hat?
I am the Messiah, and I am here to extend human time through the grace of God if we qualify. And qualification for time extension is going to take significant, diligent work. So I am here to guide the way to God's future, for I am the only one who can get us there.
How do you know you're the Messiah?
Well, Rob, it's like this. God told me back in 2011 that I was the Messiah after training me. Well, what I thought was training. Actually, I've been in training probably actively for about the past 2 years. And what I've been doing for the past 2 years is gathering information. I receive messages from God on a daily basis, and I translate it into English because it comes in number language. I translate it into English, and as I translate God's message into English, I learn, and I pick up what my job is, my task here on Blueprint Earth. And my task here is to save as many hopelessly lost citizen that I can.
I always thought that the Messiah was going to be Jesus Christ. And I talking to you, I can hear that you're a young lady.
Right.
To say that you've got me at a little bit of a miff is an understatement, but prove to me you're the Messiah.
Well, first of all, let me just say, if Jesus were the Messiah, then we would have peace on earth. And we've had Jesus for well over 2,000 years, and we're far from peace on earth, besides all the other rewards that come after peace on earth is established, which is divine order. Okay, so Jesus was and is a messenger, and he did a wonderful job for humanity. However, I guess he died kind of young, and he didn't pick up the entire message. And the end result is chaos, unfortunately, because there's no halfway to God's future. There's only one way, you see. And social order and human misbehavior is about to change. The average puny human that, that believes that he or she lives under free will soon learn that free will is illusion. And we are all here to do one job, and that's to get to God's future, all of us.
What do people say generally when you say, "Hi, my name is Resa Edwards, and I'm the Messiah"?
Well, I get laughed at, I get funny looks, I get ridiculed, I get cussed and fussed at. I've even gotten cut off by quite a few people.
Really?
But that doesn't change the fact that I am the Messiah. And I am so sure that I am the Messiah. I have a challenge worth money. Okay. Anybody can put up as much money as they want or as much money as they have. And I challenge anyone, that's all 8 billion of you out there, to prove that I am the Messiah. And my task is to prove that I am.
Resa, stand by, my dear. You and I have to take our 2-minute commercial break. X-Zone Nation, this is a first. We have the Messiah with us tonight. And I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break in 2 minutes as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away. X-Zone Nation, Resa Edwards is my guest. She is the Messiah and a peace expert. I'd just like to go back a little bit and ask you, how do you know you're the Messiah? I mean, you say that God has talked to you and God told you you're the Messiah. But how does that work with what's in the Bible?
Okay, that's a very good question. The Bible is at, I would say, about 96% fact or truth. Okay. However, the Bible is written in code. I mean, if anyone believes that the world was made in 7 days, I mean, I don't know what to say. Because God is grounded in fact, grounded in numerical code. And there's no way you can really read the Bible without having the key to unblock the code. And so my job is to help everyone understand that every messenger picks up the same basic message, because facts do not change, you see. So that's why the Bible and the Torah and the Holy Quran, the different books of peace, are written similarly, because each messenger picks up pretty much the same message. It's just that, depending on the personality and how much education you have, you can decipher that code. And some people are able to decipher the code a little bit more than others. Me, I decipher all codes. So I'm the code breaker. So I can help with anything that is a fact, because I can't deal with opinion. Everything is number based, you see. So go ahead.
Where did you get the knowledge to become the code breaker of the Bible?
It took a while for me to decipher the code. God has probably been trying to give me the code. I've been trying to pick it up now probably since birth. It wasn't until I became an adult, a focused adult, that I started writing everything down. And once I started writing everything down, I started to see his whole entire program. Because see, God's program is social. It's a social conditioning program of human behavior. Right now, we are under a human program considered free will, and the end result is chaos or human misbehavior. But God's program drives us to instinct, just like the ants, the insect, and the animal move forward on instinct. Human being is supposed to move forward on instinct only, but we don't, because we're embedded with satanic programming, unfortunately, and we don't even know it. So it's my job to teach the average hopelessly lost puny human how to see Satan. And once you're able to see Satan, then you can start picking up God's messages as well.
Let me ask you this. The Bible says in the end days there will be many false prophets. How do we know that who you believed you heard was God wasn't in fact Satan, and that he is leading you down the path of illusion?
Very good question. The average brain that's functioning can see that the average human being probably is lucky if they live to about 90 years old. Okay. Rapid death is the end result of satanic programming, meaning everlasting life is the end result of divine programming. So we know that we are suffering from satanic programming because many of us are dying extremely young. We're not even making it to 90, and 90 is young. So how you know for a fact that I am the Messiah is because I'm here to grant puny human time. Time being the most valuable commodity in existence. And unfortunately, go ahead, sir.
And how do you grant us puny humans time?
My job is to tackle the big guys, as in government, as in the biggest threat to human time, like nuclear reactor. So that's my job. My job is to put a stop to the immediate time threat, okay, as the Messiah. The average puny human still has to open up their God connection. The average puny human still has to connect to God via instinct. And when you connect to God via instinct, you'll know it. And it took me 20 years. God's program of divine order is broken down into simple English for the average puny human to comprehend. So it might take the average puny human 10 years, but you don't even have 10 years if you're under threat of nuclear reactor, global warming, different things that can steal our time and not even give us a chance to get to know God properly.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you believe in the Bible?
I do, of course.
Is the Bible the Word?
The Bible is the Word. Yes, it is, in fact, the Word.
Then help me understand something. According to the Bible, the Messiah would be born of a virgin. Was your mother a virgin?
My mother was not a virgin, but neither was Mary.
How do we know that? Yeah, according to Isaiah 7:14 and Matthew 1:18, Mary, that he would be born, the Messiah would be born of a virgin. All right, you're saying that Mary wasn't a virgin. How do you know that?
Because a human being cannot be born without chromosomes. But
we're saying
God is not make believe.
But we're saying that Christ. We're not talking about a human being here. We're talking about the Son of God. Now, if you believe in the Bible, then you would believe. I would imagine that if you believe in the Bible, you would believe that Christ was born of a virgin. Am I right or wrong?
No, I mean. Christ, no one can be born of a virgin. Let me explain something.
Wait a second here. Hold on here.
Yes.
How can you say that the Bible is wrong I asked you point blank, do you believe in the Bible? Yes. Is the Bible the Word? Yes. The Bible says that Jesus was born of a virgin, and you're saying no, he wasn't.
What I'm saying to you, Mr. McConnell, is that the Bible is written in code.
Oh, okay.
So if you believe, just hear me out. One of the biggest problems with Christianity or any traditional religion is the belief in fantastic rhetoric over fact. And what I am here to tell you is there is no way you can put fantastic rhetoric over fact. And once you begin to apply fact to the Bible, you will be able to comprehend what those messengers were trying to tell you or trying to portray, which is God's word.
Okay.
But if you don't adhere to facts, which are number based, then you'll believe anything.
All right, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Who was the messenger before you?
There have been countless messengers. As a matter of fact, we all can pick up God's messages. We're all physically designed to pick up his messages. His messages have been around since earth formation.
Okay, do you have any disciples?
I don't have any disciples per se. God's army is led by God's elite, and God's elite are peacemaker leader. They are people who are trained to lead. So no one is necessarily following me. I don't, worshiping me. I pray, please never do that, because that would anger God. But what people need to comprehend is there is only one way to get to God's future, and it is through controlled human behavior. Unfortunately, Christianity and other traditional religions allow human misbehavior.
All right, now according to the Bible, and you've told me that you believe in the Bible, and the Bible is the Word,
Yes,
the
sir.
Messiah would be born in Bethlehem. Were you born in Bethlehem?
I was born in Brooklyn.
Okay, so strike that one.
I was born in Brooklyn again.
Now, wait a sec. Hold on here. The Bible also states that the Messiah would be of King David's seed, and that's in Jeremiah 23:5 and Luke 3:23 and 31. So are you of King David's seed?
I really don't know. Maybe if you do a genetic trace, I might be. That's something I don't know.
Okay,
What I
let
can
me
tell
ask.
you-
Hold on here. Let me ask you another question. Have you ever been to Jerusalem?
I have been many places.
No.
In this first dimension,
Hold
I've
on here.
never
Hold on
been
here.
to
The
Jerusalem.
quest. You haven't been to Jerusalem.
No, sir.
Okay, and the Bible says, and you said you believe in the Bible, and the Bible is the Word, that in Jeremiah 9:9 and in Luke 19:35 to 37, that the Messiah would enter Jerusalem on a colt.
Okay, I need to stop you, because you have to understand that you are reading a code. In other words, the Bible is allegorically written. I can't go back and forth with you about something that on the surface tells you something, and you're picking up that message. What I am telling you is that message. Hold on. What I'm telling you is the message in the Bible is multidimensional.
Multidimensional.
It is multidimensional, okay? And when I say multidimensional, I mean it has more than one meaning. So if you read the Bible and you get something out of it, that's great. All positive energy is acceptable. However, if you read the Bible and you don't get the path to God's future, then you need to comprehend that there are other things that you might not be aware of. Because, see, just the fact that you're aging lets me know that the way you read the Bible is not necessarily connecting you.
Well, tell me, how old are you? Do you age?
I'm aging, but I'm aging really slow. I'm 43.
Well, you look 43.
Yeah, but my skin, we're dealing with the chemicals in the air and unwholesome food and water. And yeah, my skin is aging, but my hair and my body is not. And I don't know I'm still working on how to get my skin to keep up with my hair and my body and my health. But
We've got to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. Stand by.
okay.
X-Zone Nation. My name is Rob McConnell. This is the X-Zone. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Send me your emails, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in beautiful Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Whatever you do, don't go away. It's going to be interesting. Now you can dial in to listen to the X Zone Radio Show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Welcome back, everyone. Resa Edwards is our special guest. She claims to be the Messiah. Well, this is...
I am the Messiah.
Prove it.
I'm sorry.
Prove it. Prove it. Talk is cheap. Prove it.
Well, sir, you're looking for me to point my finger maybe and make something move? Is that what you're looking for?
I'm looking for you to prove what you're saying.
Sir, I am in the process of taking over this entire planet. And when I say that, I mean no one can defeat me. There is no one, not you, not anyone else, that has the exact path to God's future and time extension for puny human. Meaning, you can talk until you're blue in the face, and you will pass away at a nice, hopefully nice old age of 90-something. On the other hand, I will not.
How do we know that? How do you know that?
You just have to sit. You have to be here.
You know,
and in order to be here, guess what? Your time has got to be. Your time has got to be free to obtain. Right now, our time is ours to protect, and we are looking at extinction. So, wanting me to sing and dance, I might not.
Tell me about Elle's Kitchen.
Elle's Kitchen is my gourmet cake line. That's the business I had before I started working for God.
So let's see. The Messiah isn't a carpenter this time. He's a cake maker.
Hey, what's wrong with that? You see, let me tell you what the Messiah does, okay?
Please.
What the Messiah does is the Messiah brings in permanent change. You can call it Armageddon. Somebody who's speaking another language would speak it, call it something else. The Mayans called it something else. The whole point of the matter is there is no way we can accept the satanic programming that we're living under any longer. And you have to be able to calculate that you're living under satanic programming. You see, if I'm not here, you will. If I didn't come and tell you that you are living under satanic programming right now, that's the reason why you're aging. That's the reason why children are dying. You look at your social condition as normal. Adverse activity is considered normal under satanic programming, and I'm here to show you the way. And obviously, I'm needed.
Tell me about your book that only cost $999.99.
BS Splitter, Divine Order. This book right here. Can you see it?
Oh yeah, we can.
Divine Order, Book of Peace and Happiness. I'll tell you why it costs $999.99. Because it's free on Twitter. Okay, all volume. I'm in volume 5 right now. This first volume is the foundation of community and world peace. And it's about to go up to $1,999.99 once the next volume is published. And it's all free on Twitter. So I can charge $10,000 for it if I wanted to, because it's free. I do this work for free. I don't get any money for it.
All right. So you don't make any money at this. You're the Messiah. You're going to save the world. You control time. And you're a baker.
Absolutely. I'm a lot of things. I'm more than just a baker. I can do a lot of things.
Tell me, what was your religious upbringing?
I grew up in church. I grew up in Baptist church.
Yeah.
With choirs and a preacher that's always, in the sky. But yeah, I grew up in the Baptist church.
So, why did you decide not to become a member of the church when you were young and pursue this professionally with a doctorate or an actual degree in theology and become an actually ordained minister?
Because you guys don't know what you're doing. Okay?
Wait a sec. Hold on here. When you say you guys, are you talking about the entire population of this planet?
Everyone is hopelessly lost. Over 96% of the human population, God considers a hopelessly lost citizen.
Really?
Really.
And God told you this, right?
It's a fact. You see, I deal with facts only. I'm sorry, I can't.
You deal with facts.
Yes, sir. It is a fact.
Where did you get this fact?
Okay, let me give you an example.
Please.
So that you can start to. I'm going to show you something because it's visible, so that you can kind of comprehend where God's numbers come from, because God's numbers are extremely vast. I'm going to get ready to show you a math formula. It's a very simple fraction. Okay, this is Satan's formula: monetary gain over time. So obviously, God's formula would be time over monetary gain. Now, let me explain something to you. Human instinct tells the average God-connected citizen that time is more valuable than anything. Time is more valuable than air. However, satanic programming says money is everything. And when money means more than time, your end result is chaos, you see. Time is our only friend. Time is God, and God is time. And the reason why we die and we suffer from rapid death is because we voluntarily choose Satan's formula over God's formula consistently every time, and we don't even know it. Another one of Satan's formulas. Okay, I'm just going to show you this. And this is the path to God's future strictly by number. Satan's formula, few over many. Obviously, God's formula is many over few. And let me tell you, God has quite a few formula. And the reason why I'm only giving you a little bit at a time is because God's information is vast, is infinite. When I say that I'm the Messiah, I am willing to take any challenge, because let's say, okay, for example, I don't know how much money you make. Let's say you make $500 million a year.
You're close.
Let's say you're
close.
like Steve Jobs, okay?
You're
you just
close.
make so much money.
You're close.
Okay. No matter how much money you make, if you put in money over time, meaning you can cut a tree for money, meaning you can blow up a mountain just to put a face on it, meaning you can blow up a waterfall just to make it smooth for money. You can kill precious animals and plants and ocean life. You can drive a vehicle that burns fossil fuel that puts tons of toxin in your atmosphere and mine. Because, see, we do all of these things for money. None of these things bring us time. The only thing that brings us more time is clean air, wholesome food, fresh water, love, God, cultivation. Everything else that we see and that we participate in is an illusion. Our daily task is to work for more time. Time is God's blessing to us. And when we turn our back on him and we put other things over his formula without even knowing it, because this is how we're trained. We think we know God. I guarantee you don't. Then you start aging and you start suffering, and you pass these illnesses onto your children, your offspring, and the cycle is vicious and it repeats. But God promises everlasting life if we would just control our human behavior, and if we would just recognize that time means more than money. If money means everything to you, you'll never be able to see the benefit of time and the grace that God gives. And unfortunately, our social condition demands that we put monetary gain before everything else, unfortunately. And there's another way. Matter of fact, the reality that you see right now, due to we dwell mostly under satanic programming, our reality is a fraction of what it could be. And I'm here to tell you, we don't have to have money. We can live under 5-star accommodation without a cent. We wouldn't have to worry about a deficit. We wouldn't have to worry about war if we would just follow a few rules that God put into place that's in the Bible, but you don't know the code.
Well, wait a sec. Hold on here.
It.
How do you know that the code that you're talking about is that you're right? Like, I'm sorry not to be a total skeptic, but
Be one. That's great.
I don't believe you at all. I think that you have some hidden agenda. I think that you're blowing your own horn for some unknown reason. I think that you're bordering on the edge of delusions of grandeur.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't blame you.
And you know what? I don't understand why you are doing what you're doing.
Okay, let me just explain this.
Okay.
The reason why I know I am the Messiah is because God's program is based on number, and God is the author of number, and no one can defeat my numbers.
Mm-hmm.
They're not my numbers, they're God's numbers, okay? And he gave his program to me. And unfortunately, that makes me a wee bit of a a-hole, you know what I mean? Yeah, I've been told I have a Messiah complex, but I talk to God every day. I know what's going to happen. I have hundreds of predictions. I don't know what to tell you guys. Only thing I can say to you, Mr. McConnell, is if you'd like to take me up on this challenge, I could use some money.
I'll tell you what.
We can have a challenge.
I'll tell you what. I'll get some of the top biblical experts in this country to take you on an on-air debate.
Let's do it.
You've got a deal.
And we would have to, let's make sure that we have a pot.
No.
Oh,
You see,
it's going to be the challenge.
No. Because, and I'm going to tell you,
I'm not doing it for nothing now.
Well, so wait a minute, wait a sec, Messiah. So you're in it for the money.
I am not in it for the money.
Well, why do you want the money? Why do you want a pot?
Hold on a second. I've been working for almost 2 years now, overtime for God, for absolutely nothing.
Well, then God should pay you. Why should anybody who's going to challenge you on your authenticity and your credentials?
The challenge has monetary gain attached to it.
How do you figure that?
You're going to have to. What do you lose if I win? What do you lose? Because I'm going to win.
Absolutely.
So what do you lose?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, then, so that's not how that's going to go. When you find someone willing to put up their dollars and cents, I will be willing to put up my dollars and cents, and we will have this challenge publicly, right online.
Well, you know what? If you were the Messiah, and if you were benevolent, and if you were able to put your power where your mouth is, I don't think any money would be an issue here.
My power goes where my mouth is every day, and all you have to do is sit back and watch the fireworks, because obviously it's not over. And you can actually keep up with I can keep you in the loop of what's going on with the U.S. government and myself, and exactly how we are going to get to God's future.
It's either that or you're going to end up in jail, one of the two.
Sorry?
I said it's either that or you're going to end up in jail, one of the two.
If I were going to I've been doing this for over 2 years, almost 2 years. If I were going to end up in jail, I would have been there by now.
Not necessarily.
You know why
not
I'm not in
necessar-
jail?
Let me see. Because you're the Messiah.
I'm not in jail.
Because you're the Messiah.
Thank you.
And you could
And
easily...
all you have to do is sit back and watch. You see, because you can be a skeptic all you want. That's your job. Your job is to be a skeptic, but
No.
while you're being a
You
skeptic-
see, my job is to get the truth out to the public, to the masses. Now, that's what my job is. You see?
Okay.
And I've been
Either way.
I've been doing this for 23 years as a broadcaster. I'm a former police investigator.
Right.
With still heavy ties to law enforcement in Canada and the U.S.
Okay, great.
So I don't have to prove anything to anybody. All I have to do is
Sit back and watch.
no. Sit back
You
and
see-
expose.
Let me explain something to you. You can continue to do these shows and live exactly the way you live, and no significant social change will come about. Me, on the other hand, I have the power to bring about positive social change. So there's the difference between you and I. The only thing is, the reason why you feel the way you do is because you don't know what I know. And I can't sit here in an hour and tell you everything.
Stand by. We've got to take our final break. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial. The Messiah, X-Zone Nation. I don't believe it. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break as we continue from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. You know, this is something about with the internet. Anybody can say anything they want to say. It gives them a platform. But you know what? Platforms are good. They're high, and people fall off. More times than enough. We'll be back. Don't go away. Welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. My name is Rob McConnell. Our guest this hour claims to be the Messiah. Well, I've never had anybody come on the show and claim to be the Messiah or Jesus Christ before. This is a first. But, you know, the Bible says in the end days that there will be many false prophets. So, what do? Do we believe that this is the Messiah who decides to expel the code of the Bible and tell everybody that not only is the Messiah a she and not a he, but this Messiah does not coincide with any of the prophecies in the Bible as we understand it, because according to this Messiah, we don't understand it. We're puny humans. We don't know what's going on, but she does. And yeah, she, the Messiah, is apparently a she. What's your final message for the worldwide audience of the X-Zone?
The final message is divine order is specifically designed to produce mass divinity. Right now, every other governing ideology in existence, past, present, and possible future, is mostly satanic. Reason being, the earth, you know, the proof is in the pudding. Our planet is meeting permanent change rapidly. Mass amounts of humans are going to, unfortunately, pass away due to accelerated elemental force exchange that we exasperate every day. I am here to let everyone know the only way we're going to see everlasting life, because God promised us life, not rapid death, is we need to accept the fact that we put satanic formulas over God's formula. And if you would like to see what God's formula is, all you have to do is look into the animal and insect kingdom. These species follow instinct, something that human beings do not.
All right, I hate to do this, but we've run out of time. I want to thank you for joining us, and I think you're a crackpot personally. But during this hour, we've contacted several theologists, experts, who we're going to set up the challenge, the debate. However, if you are truly the Messiah, which I doubt because you don't follow any of the criteria that's in the Bible about who or what the Messiah was going to do. You don't look like Jesus Christ. You're not a male. You're a female. You're a baker, not a carpenter. And we'll see. We'll see what the members of the worldwide listening audience of the X Zone Nation think about you. And we're going to let them know how to contact you. Because I believe that in the Bible it does say at the end time there will be false prophets. And you, I think, fall into the perfect category of a false prophet. You want to sell your books for $999.99, but you're giving them away on Twitter. I have no concept of where you get your prescriptions filled, but I think you should go back. I think you're missing a few. Not only a few prescriptions, but a few other things that are necessary in life in order to be a responsible citizen. This is the X Zone. My name is Rob McConnell, and I must tell you, X Zone Nation, this was one of the strangest hours I have ever had. But you know what? She reminds me a lot of Cal Korff. Yeah, remember him? All smoke, no action? Well, we're going to put her feet to the fire and see what happens. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.